Good morning, guys. Okay, it's Monday, the 19th of November. We're on the FTSE 100 5-minute time frame. I have just been triggered into first trade of the week after this strong bullish candle at 10:25 a.m. So let's mark it up. Okay, so as always with the live trade, what I'm going to do is sort of talk you through the analysis, the reasoning behind the trade. And then as the trade starts to develop, I'll try and sort of talk you through what I'm looking at. Any trade management, I'll kind of give you the thinking behind the decisions that I am making. And then we'll wait and we'll see how the trade works out. Okay, so coming into today on the FTSE, I was more neutral on this market. Now, the reason I am more neutral is because we're kind of sandwiched in between two fairly key levels. And what we did for most of last week is we just kind of bounced between that resistance and that support. There is the potential for a double top on the daily time frame. However, with that resistance and with that support, we've kind of tried to break down from the double top, but we've rejected off of this support multiple times. So the way I'm looking at it is more neutral until we start to get a little bit more evidence. Now, into today, we've already had a nice rejection off of this 7,043 zone. I actually missed a pretty good entry. So we came up, we rejected, we came up, we rejected, we came up, we rejected again into potentially a double top up here. This at 8.55, yeah, I mean, good for a sell position. I was just being a little bit too cautious and I missed the entry, unfortunately. But with this one, we have sort of started trending down the way. You can see testing onto this trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4 tests. We then bounced once, rejected. We came down, we bounced a second time. And then with this second bounce here, we have potentially broken up above this sloping resistance level. And I was then happy to get into a long position looking for a retest of this zone up above at 7,043. So we've also came down, created a fairly significant swing. We then broke down below it. We have managed to break up above it once. And then on the second one, again, we have pressed back above this level. So it's all kind of giving me the confluences, the evidence that potentially we are looking at a good area for some sort of a bullish bounce. Obviously, I'm looking for the market to come up into this zone up above. Not really too sure if I'm going to hold it up into this higher area. It depends how the market moves as it tests at this level. It may turn into a little bit of a scalping movement because I am trading into something that I consider a resistance level. If I'm trading into a resistance level, I don't just want to blindly hold on to the trade if the market is giving me that evidence to potentially come out of the trade. So with today, with skipping that trade there, or not skipping, with looking at it a little bit cautiously, I would say, with sort of coming into the market, being neutral, with it not giving quite enough evidence for me to get into the trade. And then you have to watch the market making that movement. Very frustrating, very, very annoying. But as a trader, or if you've been trading for any length of time, you know you're going to miss countless trades. It cannot be helped. You cannot take every single setup that comes onto the charts. And sometimes you are going to see something like that. You're going to decide to stay out of the market, and then it's going to make a very nice movement. That's all part of trading. It all comes down to your analysis of the market and then following your trading plan. If your trading plan is telling you it's a maybe, but then you're also looking at it and it's giving you that, it's not quite giving me enough confluence, it's not giving me enough things lined up to make this a high probability trade, you just skip the trade. And that's part of the, not the journey, but that's part of the process of being a trader. Part of being a trader is being frustrated a lot of the time. You're gonna skip so many trades. And then sometimes you're gonna skip trades. So let's say we skip this one. Comes down, really nice profit target. Really nice, simple, it broke down, had a little bit of retest, and then we had the market breaking down. I was actually watching on the retest for an entry, but I just didn't get it. We got this really strong bearish candle, but it's, 2-3 points to the zone underneath. It doesn't make sense to me. yeah, so you miss the trade, it comes down, it hits where your profit target would have been, a little bit frustrated, and then what can happen is the next trade you take can be a loss. And that can be even more frustrating because then you start to blame yourself. So I say, oh, why didn't I take that initial trade? You have to sort of get out of that mindset, and you have to accept that your decisions when you take a trade are your decisions, or your decisions when you skip a trade are your decisions. You have to be happy with what you have done. And if you are happy with what you have done, then a loss is just a loss. Yeah, you don't want to put everything onto your own shoulders as a trader. You don't want to try and take the weight of the world. You don't want to blame yourself for everything negative that happens. Now, sometimes you will just make poor decisions. And in those instances, you do want to sort of berate yourself because you need to try and correct those mistakes. But if you are following your trading plan, you're making good trading decisions, and then the trade would have worked out that you skipped, it doesn't matter. You just have to accept that that's all part of trading. So I'm just sort of keeping my eye on the market here at present. I'm looking for it to come up to at least into this zone up above before I start making any real decisions. Stop level is sitting down just below the low of this candle, which was the entry, and there's not really a lot else to go over at present. So what I'm going to do, as always, I'll just pause the video, and then when the market starts to make the move one way or the other, I'll turn it back on. We can have a look at what's going on, and I'll kind of talk you through any decisions that I am making. But the main sort of reason for getting into this trade is the sloping resistance that we just popped up above, the potential double bottom down here, and also being a little bit neutral on the market. I'm sort of happy to be looking for buys and happy to look for sells. Also, early morning, multiple swings down here. We then broke up, we've had a little bit of a pullback. Not pulled back to test at the swings as yet, which would have been another nice confluence, but we've got enough on this trade that I was happy to get in. Okay, so the market is now down toward the stop level. We are looking like we're continuing to hold on this sloping resistance. If that's the case, it is going to pop down and take me out for a loss, which will be blooming frustrating, but it's all part of trading, unfortunately. Actually, I posted a loss last week as well. So this will be the second loss posted in a row. I can't remember the last time I've done that, but it happens as a trader. Yeah, you have not the first trade of the week, what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in general terms when you're trading. You have losses, then you have runs of losses. You can't tell when they're going to come. The only thing you can do is prepare yourself for them. And the way you prepare yourself is things like, well, obviously you have your trading plan, things like the recent video that I posted on identifying your triggers. It's all about sort of making yourself able to deal with the uncertainty of trading and to deal with the losses when they come. That's really your job as a trader. You know, you have to find the trades, you have to enter the trades, and sort of trade them according to your plan. But the main thing is getting yourself out of the way when you're trading, because it's invariably us who cause the mistakes and who cause the losses. And one of the main things for that is finding your trading triggers and finding ways to stop you from making stupid mistakes. With trading, you're going to have losses. Sometimes you're going to have more than one loss in a row. Sometimes you're going to go through drawdown periods where nothing seems to work. Those are incredibly difficult to deal with because you have to keep sitting down at the computer each morning and you have to keep repeating the process and you have to keep assuring yourself this is all part of what I'm supposed to be doing. I know through experience, through my testing, through my back testing, through my demo trading, paper trading, whatever, that this is normal. In your head, when you're going through it, it does not seem normal. I'm not talking about, one loss, two losses in a row. I'm talking about if you have a drawdown period. When you start getting to sort of 5%, 6% drawdown, that's when you start to really start sort of looking at the computer and thinking, is the market maybe set up against me here? Am I making mistakes? And that's when you really have to start focusing on your discipline, focusing on your psychology, and just powering through with your trading plan. Okay, so we've popped up a little bit. It was rejecting at the sloping resistance, but this gave me the confidence to get in after we broke up above. I'm still happy to be in the trade. Absolutely nothing has changed. My stop is my stop for a reason. Until the market makes the movement, I'm in it until it stops me out. or it makes the break higher that I'm looking for. If I wasn't, then really what would be the point of having the stop? And what would be the point of getting in the trade? If I'm going to get in and it just doesn't move straight away, and I'm sort of thinking, oh, I want to jump out of this trade, that would just be me making an emotional decision. So I'm still in the trade. Hopefully we're going to break up into this zone up above. Hopefully we'll get some nice profits out of it, but it's probabilities. You just have to accept that each trade, each individual trade is going to happen how it happens. Okay, so the market is now up into this 7,043 zone up above, which is basically where I'm starting to look for potential areas to take profit. Now we are testing into these two previous swings right here. We've got one, and then we've got two. So we're just testing out that first one right now. Now, what I'm looking at is how the market has came down. We've had the two bounces. We've then sort of dragged ourselves down the resistance line, and then we've rejected, and we've had a little bit of a bullish surge, certainly on this last candle, which was around about 7.5 points. So what I'm looking for, hoping for, is we get another little spurt of buying pressure up into this sort of area right here. If we can see that, yeah, I'll be happy to lock in profits. Now, we're testing out this resistance level, and you can see, first of all, the sellers are stepping in a little bit. So when I'm looking at this, I'm basically looking at how the market has created this double bottom. You can actually call it a triple bottom, and then we've broken up. So potentially we need to have a little bit of a pullback to retest at this level of structure before we see a bullish bounce. So what I'm going to do is basically give it a few candles of wiggle room. I'm looking for the market to just put in a little bit of a stronger bullish bounce up into those levels, or certainly up toward 7,048. If we have to have that pullback to this level, I'm still happy to hold on to it, because now it's kind of confirming to me that it's broken up above this sloping resistance level. You know, if we can get to sort of half a point over half a, 0.5% over 0.5% on the trade, then I'll be happy to start looking to just come out and lock in the profits and call it a day for a Monday. But we'll see how we get on. At present, I'm just holding on to the trade, watching to see how we react at 7,043. Okay, so stop is now at break even. I'm just basically looking for an exit. We are right up into the levels where I'm looking to take profits. Okay, so the market is hesitating up at these levels at 8.5 points. We are just kind of holding up here, which is a resistance level. So I'm going to lock in the profits, £297.50. Was hoping for a little bit further on the market up into this zone up here, but we're testing at, you know, a fairly significant previous swing point. The market has already rejected up here once in overnight trading, so more than happy to just take the profits and then call that a day. Okay, so as always, guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope all of you are having a good trading week, even if you are missing trades. Hopefully you are still following your discipline and you're waiting for the perfect setups. I'm James Orr, and thank you.